Now, also, homemade tomato sauce. This is like the comfort food in our family. And when I started really making my own tomato sauce, the thing I really wanted was to just enhance the tomatoes with plenty of garlic, which is what I'm cutting up here. I've got 4 cloves, and I'm just mincing it. And I don't use onion in my sauce. I mean, sometimes maybe I'd use it, but for the most part, I just use garlic, because I find that onion sometimes brings too much sweetness to the sauce. So here I am just mincing this up. Make sure that you get it fine enough, because I don't want to be eating away at my lasagna and have a big chunk of garlic in my teeth. All right, you can hear my sausage is sizzling away. I'm just going to give it a little toss in the pan. There we go. Turn on my sauce pot here. A little bit of olive oil in the pan just to coat the bottom of it. And then I add red pepper flakes. Not much to make it spicy, just to bring in a little bit of flavor, about 1/4 teaspoon. Make sure it's not too hot when you get your garlic in there. Now, with me, I only really like to cook my garlic for about 30 seconds. And this is really cooking quickly, so I'm going to give it a stir. And I have here pureed tomatoes. Now, I'm going to show you why they're coming out of the blender jar. Just get this stirring. Because I like to use whole plum tomatoes. Why? Because I like to control the thickness of the tomato sauce. Sometimes I like it chunky, sometimes I like it really pureed, and so that's why I puree it myself. Here I have 2 pans, and we'll put this in there. Now this is going to cook for about, well, if I was just having a quick bowl of spaghetti, I would cook this for about 30 minutes. But since I want to cook it down for the lasagna, one of the other tricks I learned about great lasagna is to have a really concentrated sauce. So I'm going to give it another 30 minutes. So in total, about an hour. Another unbelievable ingredient that I absolutely adore is ricotta cheese. And I have about 1 pound here of beautiful fresh ricotta cheese. About 1/2 cup of grated pecorino, which is a Romano cheese. I use that because I think it has a little more punch than your average Parmesan, but you could use that if you wanted to. 1 egg, and that's as simple as this filling is. Just kind of mix it together, making sure that the egg is incorporated throughout the whole filling mixture, because that's what really helps bind it together once it's layered in that lasagna. All right, here we go. We have all our elements together that we need. And you can just kind of take your pan and sort of turn it around. And then goes my first layer of noodles. Just sort of dip them up on the side. That's exactly the way you want it, because it'll puff beautifully when you cook it. And my first layer of deliciousness that goes in this lasagna is the sausage. And the way I do it, I mean, different strokes for different folks, but I just like to have everything on 1 layer. So when you cut into this, you have all your sausages on 1 layer. Smells so good. A little bit more sauce just distributed over the sausages. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just want a little moisture and a little flavor in there. More noodles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the cheese mixture goes in. And I'm just going to dump it on here and then just kind of smooth it over. Perfect. Okay. All right. We have our last layer of noodles. And then what we're going to do is grab our final cheese, because if you have 2 cheeses, 3's better in lasagna as far as I'm concerned. Don't be shy with the rest of your sauce. You really want to make sure you distribute it around. About 1.5 cups in total. And if you need to, you can just take a spoon and distribute it evenly on top. We're almost at the end of this beautiful dish. Lastly, we lay down our mozzarella. And this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep putting the pieces of mozzarella. Then I've got a little bit more cheese. And then either if I eat it tonight, I'll just put it in the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes. But I think I might stick this in the freezer.